Darling FM. I am Paul the Magician.
And I'm Zandas, Okeke. Good morning.
Yes, today we're going to be talking about poverty alleviation in Imo State. We'll take a look at the ongoing conditional cash transfer. We'll also look at the sustainable development goals and humanitarian activities of this administration led by Governor Hope Uzodinma. And we're expecting the arrival of the special advisor to the governor on SDGs and humanitarian activities. That's Honorable Princess Christina Ude. While we await his arrival, we will consider some headlines making the round.
All right, we'll start with national newspapers this morning. The Blueprint newspaper has the bold one on its front page. Bandits strike in Kagara. Kill one, kidnap 27 students, 12 others. With the riders, it's time for state of emergency, Senate tells Buhari. Niger shuts 4 boarding school. Northern governors lament. Rescue our children now. PDP urges operatives. Ignore PDP business conspiracy. APC tells parents. And will take political military steps to secure their release.
Yeah,
that's quite a mouthful. Bandits terrorizing students this time around.
Well, a lawmaker has come out to say we shouldn't call them bandits, we should call them terrorists, because this is one case too many. We've seen them attack schools in Dapchi, in Chibok, in Kankara, and now Kadara. So at what point do you call them terrorists? You know, but beyond the nomenclature, the fact that lawmakers both from the APC and the PDP are speaking up, clearly saying that President Muhammadu Buhari has failed to protect the nation.
He has failed because that's one of the major thing expected of the president in terms of securing lives and properties of protecting the territorial integrity of Nigeria. That's what he swore to when he was being sworn in. So if Nigeria is now a place where you're traveling, you're kidnapped, you're in school, you're kidnapped, you are in your village, you're killed, you're maimed. I mean, it's going out of hands. Nigeria is becoming a theater of killings and abduction these days.
And when you would expect that the Minister of Defense would come out tough and provide workable solutions. Rather, what is trending is his assertion that Nigerians are cowards and we fear too much for our lives. And he was basically suggesting that when these bandits come, we are supposed to mobilize and chase them back. While he was making that statement, we could see security details behind him.
Yeah, I wanted to say, instead of him hiding himself in the FCT, Abuja to be precise, I would have expected he then goes to Zamfara, Katsina or Borno and show us, lead by example.
Right.
Show us how to mobilize people and chase these bandits or terrorists back. You understand? People that even our security agents are saying they have more sophisticated weapons. Then you want us with clubs and probably sticks to chase people with rocket launchers and all of that back?
That's right. And the development, NUT talking tough, saying they are going to pull out of teaching if the government is unable to guarantee their safety. We've seen NLC actually calling on the government to step up their game with regards to security. We've seen the National Assembly demand that the president declare a state of emergency.
Yes,
in Niger State and every other part of the country where security is not guaranteed. All of this course, plus governors demanding that they be empowered by law to do much more with regards to security.
In fact, even the National Assembly is already canvassing that. So they say since the president has failed in ensuring securing the lives and properties of Nigerians, I think that role should be more roles should be given to governors in their respective states to come up with their own ideas and a mechanism to to checkmate some of these atrocities being perpetrated by these hoodlums and terrorists here and there. For me, I think that's a welcome development, because you can't sit in Abuja and sit inside Aso Rock and you're giving orders, whether it's obeyed or not, you don't know. Don't forget, we're in this country where the president said he didn't know, and an inspector general of police did not heed his directive that he should relocate to the theater of drama, of war. You understand? So you can't hide yourself in Aso Rock and take charge of what is happening in the entire country.
Yeah.
So I'll support that, and I think if the lawmakers harp more on that, we might see a situation where the governors will be given that role to play.
Or maybe we should empower our traditional rulers who are closer to the people than the governors, because the traditional rulers know the people in their communities.
Yes.
And a lot of these atrocities happen in the rural areas. It's not happening in Meduguri, it's not happening in Mina. It's happening in the villages, in the rural areas. So
yes,
the governor at the city center may still not be able to guarantee the security of people in the villages.
Yeah, but I mean, look at the role given. Okay, look at the little assignment of coming up with those that should be members of the security committee for the police, for the is it the federal government policing system that was that is being canvassed by the IGP. Already in Imo State here, we've seen where some citizens of various communities are saying that their traditional rulers are playing pranks with it. Some have accused them of bringing in hoodlums. Some have said it is one-sided, it's lopsided. I mean, it keeps going on and on and on.
Yeah.
And if we don't get it right at that level, then of course the country might be doomed.
All right, we'll consider more headlines.
All right, this one says fuel pump price hits 170 naira in Lagos, Ogun amidst supply shortage. I don't understand. We've been paying 170 here.
Exactly. It's a failure of DPR here to get petrol dealers to comply with it.
Is it cheaper?
Well, it's
maybe because from the farm, the fuel farms or the tank farms to the fuel stations in Lagos and Ogun. It's different from moving it from maybe Lagos
down south.
So they add all of that.
Okay, maybe.
But we've been paying 170 here, so this not news to me if you ask me.
There are fears that it could go higher than 170, especially because the current landing cost is way more expensive than 170. Yes, they are landing it at 186 or thereabout, and so that's why some dealers are already speculating that the federal government may have in a way be subsidizing it, because NNPC is still the major importer of this petrol, and the dealers go to NNPC to offload or to get exactly. So if the federal government, especially because there's no budget for subsidy this year, decide to pull out of whatever it is they are doing and allow the marketers to deal with it as they see fit, we might be buying petrol for not less than 200 naira per liter.
And that will be for 1,000. You just get like 5 liters.
Yeah.
So if you're traveling from here to Lagos, imagine what you do with fuel money. Okay, let's take this one. FG secures $1.2 billion investment for Nigerian farmers. I just hope it gets to the farmers. I think that's what we can take from Blueprint newspaper this morning.
All right, let's move to Punch newspaper. Power grid collapses, plunges Lagos others into darkness. Well, thankfully, the power grid was restored at the later part of yesterday. Yes, so let's hope that we don't experience another collapse. Aisha Buhari birthday greetings absent as president's wife clocks 50. Are you concerned about the First Lady's silence?
Even absence, she's not been seen in public view for quite a while now, and from what we gather, she's been in Dubai.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if the other room is still very vibrant.
What does that tell you when the First Lady decides to leave the country for more than 3 months now, and there's no word from her, no explanation from her aide about her absence. And even on her birthday, there's no birthday message from the president, the presidency. Journalists who went to cover news at the Aso Villa said it was business as usual,
nothing special,
except for a few governors and government officials who decided to say a thing or two about her birthday. Even her family members, herself, did not wish herself happy birthday. So
quite a number of people, should I say, the social media was about some few months back saying that there has been a split between the president and his wife, and that's why she relocated to Dubai. Maybe I remember Garba Shehu insisting that there's no truth in that, and that she can holiday anywhere she wants to holiday. You understand? But this one holiday that is becoming is it too long or too far?
Maybe she knows something that we don't know.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, that's the only reason why a woman would leave her husband's house and go holidaying for months.
That's the thing. The holiday is becoming too long. I mean, okay, let me not go there.
Who is bankrolling the holiday?
Not bankrolling the holidays. I mean, in this season when there's Hamatan and all that,
the aspect you're looking at. Zandas. Let's move to Vanguard newspaper. Except we want to add this headline here, that says medical doctor, 17 others in FCC net over internet fraud, and this happened in Imo State.
Imo State, yes, I saw that yesterday. Well, let's see how it plays out, because over time we've been told that Imo at one time was the center of this whole Yahoo boys, but for quite some time now, the EFCC all the way from Port Harcourt has been busting into this town and moving quite a number of them. So they've been running helter skelter.
Some have argued that the monies gotten from these internet fraudsters is part of the reason why our economy has not collapsed right now. In Imo State, for example, these Yahoo guys are the big spenders. If hotels is our mainstay here in Imo State, and they are the ones that are able to afford the hotel rent or bills. Then imagine what happens when you chase them out, or you take them out of the system, or you completely block those monies that come in. Is it the civil servants who wait for their pay, or the pensioners, or the businesses which are heavily patronized by the Yahoo boys that will be able to afford the hotels?
No.
So
that means the economy will just be at a standstill.
That's why we're not feeling it. That's why it's as if there is recession, but money tends to.
Well, Paul, I've gone to some shows, events, weddings, any of these social gatherings,
and it's still vibrant.
And you see the way money is being. In fact, it's naira rain. It's naira. In fact, there was one I went to. I saw this guy. The guy looked like a banker, but he's not, because he was wearing a t-shirt and jean. He had a backpack. What was in that backpack was 200 naira brand new notes bill. And I saw these guys just changing money, and once they change, they go in and it's naira rain. They just keep throwing.
It's a lifestyle. So and when you make it rain like that, it circulates.
Because people are going to pick and all of that.
Then of course the vendors that came to
will make some extra money.
The musicians, the MC, right? So
they reflate the economy.
It's crazy, really. It's crazy. Okay, let's consider headlines from Vanguard. Breaking news: Buhari summons Zamfara governor over insecurity in his states. I wonder what the Zamfara governor is going to tell him, because
why is he summoning the Zamfara state governor?
Why not?
I mean, it's not only in Zamfara that there's insecurity. There's insecurity in Katsina. There's insecurity in Borno. There's insecurity in Kaduna. You understand?
Right.
People are being killed in southern Kaduna every day. Why isn't El-Rufai being summoned? You know why I'm raising these issues? Because Zamfara state governor is a PDP governor. So I hope it's not a witch hunt.
Okay, so well, I know the Zamfara State Governor has been his approach has been that of dialogue. Trying to give the bandits there amnesty. He's tried that several times. Some have accused him of empowering them or rewarding them for the atrocities they
Yeah, but he's not the first person to have done that. We know that Masari of Katsina dialogue with bandits. They are giving shops and houses, and Kaduna State Governor El Rufai has admitted to giving monies to terrorists for them to stop killing and maiming people in the state. So he's not the first to have done that. I think this thing should be looked at holistically.
Yeah,
you understand. There's no saying. Insecurity is ravaging the entire country, and the federal government needs to look at it holistically. And just like Abdul Salam said, all the security chiefs should harness their ideas together and see how they can stop all of this.
Right. Also from Vanguard newspaper, governors meet in Aso Rock over insecurity. The 36 governors were to meet last night. I don't know the outcome of that meeting, but I'm certain it's going to be about the security.
Yeah, everybody's talking about security right now.
That's right. We'll consider perhaps just this one more headline.
Okay.
We already have our guest who is making herself comfortable. She is Christina Ude. That's the special advisor to Governor Hope Uzodinma on SDGs, that's sustaining development goals and humanitarian services. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Good morning.
All right. We already at the time where we take our commercials, so we're going to before we start talking about poverty alleviation in Imo State, the ongoing conditional cash transfer and other policies meant to alleviate the suffering of Imolites. We will have to go for a commercial break. When we return, it's very, very interactive. Of course, it's an opportunity for you also to interact with Christina Ude, who would have answers to whatever questions you may have with regards to poverty alleviation. Let's stay tuned to 107.3 Darlin FM. We'll be right back after this break.
Advanced formula gets 21 bioactive nutrients wey go make your body strong. E get hemoglobin wey dey use build your blood, Nigerian ginseng and B complex for energy and strength, choline for fatty liver and brain function, omega-3 for cardiovascular disease, plus including green tea and lycopene. If you dey pregnant, make you consult your doctor before you use am. Every family need Dr. Homel's ogbonge multivitamins and mineral supplement. E dey for liquid and tablet. Dr. Homel's smells and Nahabaya draw.
You know me, gang. You are moving to the switch gang. It can be with the switch gang. Right now you are moving to the switch gang. Set one gang. Retire well gang. Pension secure gang. Just switch gang. Set one Stanbic IBTC gang. Transfer window gang. Happen to life gang. One pension manager gang. Join the Switch Gang today.
Stanbic IPTC Pension Managers, a member of Stanbic Bank Group.
Charles! Yes, Mama! Good one, 2 sachets of hyper bleach corn. Thank you, Ma! Because I use one take such a rice. They call this the other one take you all the Yamayama jams. But I didn't see any Yamayama jams for here, Ma. They smell well, oh, but they did it. And now why I trust only hyper bleach to take you all of them, pata.
Make all your white cloths, they continue to be white and they kill all the virus and the Yamayama germs. What will cause sickness for your house with the disinfecting power of hyper bleach?
One is that huge wins from high odds all the way with the fastest payout. Take more of our winning advantages from your deserving bets on all sports. Because with one is bet, everyone can win. What about you? Visit our website on oneisbet.ng. Use promo code BETNG and get up to 200% bonus on your first deposit. Yes, 200% bonus on your first deposit. One is bet. Bets for every taste.
Visit our website today on www.flyerpeace.com.
Hello, babe. Are you still there? Can you hear me? Alright, yeah. So I see a VIP bar for choice beverages and drinks, a restaurant for African and continental dishes, a 300 to 500 seating capacity event center, exquisite rooms and suites at pocket-friendly prices. And guess what, babe? For you and I, there's a pool and a poolside bar and a gym.
Spend time with family and friends at Zaza Hotel. Zaza Hotel is located at number 28 Yard Drive before Lord's Chosen Church, Owerri, Imo State. For more inquiries, call 0803-785-8386 or 0803-743-2115.
107.3 Darling FM.
The People's Radio.
Thank you for staying tuned to 107.3 Darling FM. Still the People's Voice, and our guest is Honorable Princess Christina Ude, the Special Advisor to Imo State Governor on Sustaining Development Goals and Humanitarian Services. Let's start with the ongoing cash conditional transfer, or is it conditional cash transfer, and of which your office is handling. We understand that the process is still ongoing. However, for those who may not know what this policy is about, when it started, where we are now, and the impact it has made so far, please share with us what your office has been up to.
Sure. Thanks for having me here this morning. Well, first of all, I'd like to mention that the National Social Investment Program started in 2016. The federal government started this program, and it comprises of 4 programs, which I mentioned the last time I was here: JEEP, the Conditional Cash Transfer, Homegrown School Feeding Program, and Empower. Now, today we're talking about the Conditional Cash Transfer, which is ongoing. Last year, about July, August, we stopped payment, and the reason was that the minister wanted to understand the payment provider, what was going on. There were some discrepancies. So the payment we're doing right now is a backlog from last year, actually. And like I said, the last time I was here, that we were paying 9 local governments. Since the program, it's been just 9 local governments. When my boss came in, His Excellency Senator Hope Uzodinma came in, he was not happy that only 9 local governments are receiving these funds. Why not the 27 local governments that we have in the state? So there's good news now. So far, we're still doing enumeration. The other local governments are going to be accommodated. About 18,238 more beneficiaries are going to be added, which I think is a really good thing.
To applaud, yeah?
Yes, because it's been 9 local governments since the inception of the program, and now that we've come on board, we're increasing it to the remaining local governments.
Is this approved by the federal government or the state government is Yeah.
So it's okay. So let me answer this straight. It is approved by the federal government.
Okay.
It's the process has been ongoing to get people to be part of the program. It's done by a community-based targeting. There was a pool of 100,000 people. Of course, I don't know if you know this. It's supported by the World Bank.
Yeah.
The program. So there was a pool. And out of that pool, they were able to pull out the 18,000. There's several screening that's done in order to get this number. So yes, this number is approved. This figure I gave you, 18,238 beneficiaries are going to be
added to the 11,000
that's receiving so far. And like I said, the community-based targeting is ongoing. So this 18,000 is going to increase as time goes on. So that's where we are.
Are there criteria used to probably come up with this pool to get the beneficiaries from this pool?
Yes, of course, there are several criterias. First of all, you have to be one of those who don't have any income at all. And that's why, like I said, there were 100,000 people. The screening brought it down to 18 because, of course, there will definitely be some people who are added that shouldn't have been added. So yes, there is a thorough screening.
And there's need for you to expand on that, because when we say this money is meant to go to the poor, oftentimes we get a question, how do the government determine who's poor? And especially here in Imo State, I'm sure a listener will want to know, how do you differentiate? And most importantly, because we have so many poor, so how do you pick one poor over the other?
That's a really good question. Thank God when this enumeration, I was in, last week I was in Omoma. We started enumerating in Omoma, and I got to see one-on-one one of the people that were selected for this program. And on reaching there, I mean, it's obvious that they're poor. They don't even have a zinc. They don't, there's no running water. There are no chairs. I was there. I have the pictures to show for it. So, and the foot soldiers were there. So the foot soldiers actually go and, to these places that the locals have recommended that these people, yes, they are poor. So they go there and determine and see. I mean, of course, if they get there, if they see that you have a beautiful house and nice zinc and running water, you can be considered poor, because there are people who live in thatch houses those are the vulnerable people that are poor.
We've seen pictures of, the exercise, which involves physical cash transfer, either from the minister herself or someone, from you, exactly, giving out cash. And, some have questioned, okay, wait a minute, why cash? Especially because for accountability's sake, you may not be able to guarantee that the money is actually going to the poor people.
I asked that question when I came on board too, and there are several reasons. One, many of those people don't have bank accounts. Because I asked the question, how do we know if the money is getting to the people? What is the accountability? And the good thing is, there is a record. So, say for example, for a certain community, if you're giving, this is just a bulk figure, if you're giving 10 million naira to share in a certain community, everything is documented. Whoever that didn't show up for their funds, the money is returned. And we also have days where we do a sweep for those who didn't show up. But if people who don't show up, the money is returned to the ministry. We don't keep any money. All monies are returned to the ministry.
And is the ministry often audited?
Is the ministry what?
Often audited.
I can't speak for the ministry in Abuja. I can only speak for the ministry that I work for here in Imo State.
So whatever money is not expended goes back to Abuja?
Yes, it goes back. We don't keep the funds. It goes back. All we do is record who and who received, who and who showed up. There's some substitutes. If you have a mother who's bedridden, You have a substitute who can come and receive the money for you. And, even the enumeration that we're doing, I saw it. There's a person who's supposed to receive the money, then there's a substitute. Just in case something happens to you, you can't show up, then your substitute shows up.
This exercise is for women, yeah?
No, it's no.
Okay.
It's not just for women. If you see the last one I paid in, we did one in the International Conference Center. That was in Kwere, Idato North and Idato South. We did it there because of the ongoing crisis in Olo, and we were kind of skeptical about going to Olo to disperse that money, and the money, us being robbed, anything could happen. There were men that I handed money over to, so no, it's not just women. The woman was the one we had December, which is still going to continue this year. We didn't finish last year for Imo State. That one was just a special grant for rural women. That's separate from this.
How much are we talking about here?
Well, for the conditional cash transfer, it's 20,000
every month. It's ongoing or one-off?
No, it's ongoing.
Okay.
It's ongoing. It started 2016. The one that's one-off is the women cash grant, the rural women cash grant.
Okay.
What's having run this for a while, has there been any improvements in the lives of those that are benefiting? On one hand,
goodness, yes.
And secondly, what's the target of the federal government at the end of this program?
Well, the target is to alleviate poverty. That's the target. I mean, there's so many ways of reducing poverty. We all know, increasing the minimum wage, ending mass incarceration, increasing pay, but this is one of them. One of the things that the households are required to do is, for example, there are so many of them that are trading. You take a certain amount of money and invest it in whatever trade that you're doing. At the end of this program, what we do is we go to the people, the households, to find out so far what have they done with the money. And there have been many success stories. We're actually compiling a video that will show the actual people saying what they did with the funding.
COVID-19 has actually set us back, when we consider the achievements so far recorded as far as the development goals says. Right now we're in a recession. Revenue, of course, is dwindling. There is insecurity. Farmers cannot farm. Lenders are being chased back. The situation don't look good. You are a special advisor to Governor Hope Uzodimma. What advice are you giving to the governor right now to make sure that Imo State is not worse hit by all of these factors affecting the nation?
Well, the advice that I will give to my boss is for us to we have to look beyond COVID, post-COVID. There are so many ways that the government is working towards helping people, saying agriculture. There's this loan that's going on right now with the Bank of Industry for small-scale farmers. Imo State is going to eventually tap into that. We have so many programs lined up. Another one is for the youth employment. These are the things that are in the works to curb the sufferings and what we've gone through during the COVID.
Yeah.
So there are things here and there that are in the works that will manifest soon.
Because we know, of course, 20,000 cannot really lift.
Yes, we know, but
poverty, so
yes,
there have to be, policies
are being set.
Yeah.
Yes, but when you think about it, I don't know where you come from. Where I come from, like one of the villages I visited, 20,000 means a lot to people there. 20,000 may not mean a lot to you and me, but 20,000 means a lot. There's some people that try to hug me for them getting 20,000 naira. So 20,000 naira can buy a tray of things to sell.
Yeah.
It means a lot to many people. It may not mean a lot to you and me, but it means a lot to many people. And it's touching when you see that real expression. So we know, hopefully in the future, it's increased. There's so many people out there to be given, there's a lot of poor people that need these funds, but it goes a long way.
Princess Ade, quite a number of people have complained about this. Some have even termed it our major system of fighting poverty, because they say the amount expended would have helped some industries come up and people will be gainfully employed, and the spiral effect of this to the communities is going to be massive. Instead of just disbursing monthly stipends to certain people at certain times.
Well,
how do you reason with such people and the assertion?
well, there's a yes and no answer to this. There will always be complaints. There will always be, regardless. Even if the people who are complaining, even if industries are set up, some may say, what about them? Not everybody is capable to work in an industry. You know, so we have to do something. We can't just stay and not do anything. What I could say is maybe, okay, we're doing the cash, and then we can also set up the industries for those who have the ability and capability to work in those industries. The ones receiving the cash may not have the ability or the capability to work in those industries. So we can do both.
But is the government thinking about
yes, of course,
establishing industries?
Yes.
Because look at Imo State. Basically, there are no functional industries in Imo.
We have the land.
Okay.
We're working on the resources. There's certain things I cannot say on the radio, but we have the land. The resources are being worked on. The ideas are there. They will manifest soon.
Right, join the conversation now. If you have questions for the special advisor to Governor Hope Uzodimma on sustainable development goals and humanitarian services, the number to call is 0815-050-1073. We're streaming online on YouTube, Darling TV, that's where you find us, on Twitter and Instagram, and on Facebook at Darling FM 1073. You can leave your comment or question there. So, hello, good morning.
Good morning, Paul and Zandas.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, this is Friday from River State.
All right, Friday, go ahead.
All the development of Nigeria, especially in Imo State. Yes, our data here all is said there. Temple and tether money. And we go for rural areas and share money for the poor and poorest. I want to ask, how do you know the poorest of this? How do you know the poorest in Imo State? He says he must have. My dear sister, show me how to fish, I don't give me fish. Those money government are spending for airport and tether money online. You don't want to help us anywhere. When the government step down, everything is going to be zero. Please, let us be industry. Companies, where they can talk and work and raise money for free families. Now look at the hard labor. He said, but why I want to ask, why everything come from federal government? You only start from Olo. Everything come from federal government. You only start from Olo. Why?
All right, Friday, you have asked two questions, which those are the ones I think that you may want to respond to. Of course, like I asked before, which he's asking again, how do you know the poor of the poor? I think you've answered that question, except you want to...
Maybe he tuned in late, maybe he's just tuning in.
Yeah, and then the second one is, maybe you should mention the local government benefiting from this exercise currently, and the ones, yes, because he asked about Ohajegbema, is Ohajegbema benefiting from this exercise?
That's a really good question. I get a lot of questions even off the radio. But let me, for those who are listening, let me mention the 9 local governments that are receiving.
Okay.
So it's Abombise, Anyazumbise, Idato North, Idato South, Ikejiru, Isialambano, Inkwere, Okeke, and Onimo. Those are the 9 that are receiving. Ohajegbema, which he mentioned, they're on the list. We're enumerating for Ohajegbema. They have never received, but they will receive soon.
Okay. All right, let's take another.
But is it true also, because he said, why is it that everything... Okay, but no, it's not.
Obviously not true. No, it's not benefiting.
No, Olu has not. Well, I think he meant, Idato North and Idato South. That's what he was.
No, the question he was saying, why is it that everything that comes from federal government starts from
Olu? That's an assertion.
But I've seen Abombise, Ayazumbise here, Ikejiru, Isialambano.
Yeah, well, maybe he doesn't know.
All right.
Hopefully he heard the list.
Okay. Hello, good morning. Morning. Please turn down the volume on the radio. Please move away from your radio, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. If you've done that, your name or where you calling from?
Alright, I will just go ahead.
I want to appeal to our guests not to transfer that to the so-called councillors in the various communities, because all that have passed through the councillors, never reach the appropriate people the government has wanted them to reach. This is their contribution.
He wants to appeal to you not to use the councillors to give the people these monies, because all that has been passing through the councillors do not get to the people.
No, we don't do that. Okay, so let me explain.
Okay, please do.
Let me use myself as an example.
Okay.
I live in the village. I'm poor. I have I have 4 children. My husband barely has anything to do. I'm one of those. Our household is one of those that is selected. When we are selected, we are given cards. My husband is also given a card. Now, when it's time to receive the money, you come with your card. We disperse the funds. We don't give money to count. We are
It
there.
doesn't pass through any of the Imo State government officials.
No.
Okay.
No.
So people are employed for this purpose?
Yes. Yes. We have the Imo State Cash Transfer Unit, which is under my office.
Okay.
So they are the ones who handle this disbursement of the funds. I supervise the disbursement of the funds.
Okay.
It's not handed to anyone. So you come. So like I was saying, if I'm unable to come, my spouse comes. He shows the card. They look at you, your face. They look at the card and make sure you match the face on the card. They scan the card. They have gadgets they use to scan the card to make sure it enters that we've paid you, and you take your money and you go.
Okay, that answers that.
So no councillors are here.
No meeting.
No.
Hello, good morning.
What is that?
Good morning.
Your name or where you calling from?
I did that to the get in the city.
Alright, go on.
It's not this kind of problem. I'm calling from Java.
You can't hear.
Alright, in Jabba, go on.
When I watch the I want to make an appeal here. For one, to know that there are so many people in the rural areas who are mostly physically connected, mostly is blind. You know, they have physical limitation, they have difficulty making use of this program. Some of them are not even captured. And I know that the local government will have the applications that cater for them. So whether you find a kind of strategy, what are the local government will make you know, again, we can use for them to go to the local government and they capture. Because most of these cases, some of them, like openly, don't know what's happening. They just hear the PGs and some of the councils and they know how to do it, and that's to them get information on what's happening. So these are good plans to have applications and you look at what I can take care of the car. Every time you come up, you don't have to reach out to them. And I think this is kind of information at the point of it for. That's how I look at it. Even though we know that some of them are especially wish. But then as the application has a way of making them know that we know them, we from their family. So I think the best thing has to be that when you throw the INC together of the application and look out for the thing of our reach out to this person, really make it fair. Thank you very much.
Okay, advocating for those living with disabilities. Some of them may not be able to come out and participate. I assume that those who are participating in this already have their cards. Registration is not ongoing. I'm asking, is it? Is it open to?
Yes, it's open, and I want to address what he said about people living with disabilities, because we do have people who are receiving these benefits who are bedridden. We have some who are bedridden. They're not excluded. In fact, they are the ones who fall into the category of vulnerable people. We actively seek out for these people, and they have substitutes who receive these funds. I've been in the villages where we went to disperse these funds, and I'm looking at the cards, and it doesn't match and then we look in the other page in the gadgets, and it's a substitute. And then my team says, oh, madam, this is the people we paid in the past. It's her mother's bedridden, or her dad is blind, or stuff like that. So we have them. They're there, and we hope to put more on the program.
The people in the villages, the ISIS, women groups, and people who definitely should have information about this policy. Are they aware? Are they in any way involved so that people who are truly poor are not excluded?
Yes, they are the ones that they're communicated when the community-based targeting starts. But we are planning to do more sensitization because there's still areas where this program is not really heard of. So we plan to do more sensitization so the word can get out there. So the people who are not being reached, they can be reached.
All right, now, let's look at your office again now, and let's focus on youth in the state. Recently, sometime towards the end of last year, there was a statistic or data that said that Imo is the unemployment capital in Nigeria. You understand? And I know that didn't go down well with the governor, because right after that was said, he came up with a 6 billion naira for 5,000 targeted youths. You understand? I mean, some 1,005 underwent their training, and we're waiting for the next set. But beyond all of this, what else is the office doing anything to probably, because we have an army of unemployed youths in the state?
Well, Goal 8 is decent work and economic growth. Goal 8 of the 17 goals that is to go. And we plan to partner with, on this goal, with IBM to train young people to get jobs virtually. That's in the works right now. So I did like to put that out there. Once we finalize, we will share, make announcements, and people can come and apply.
All right, we're due for another commercials. When we return, we'll take more phone calls. We'll check what you're saying on social media, and we'll take a concluding statement from our guest. Stay tuned to 107.3 Darling FM.
Darling FM, the People's Radio.
One expert don't land with big ogbonge odds and sharp cash out method. You will like sports. This now your big opportunity to make better money on top all your bets. We be bigger wolf. My Naija people, I beg, make una no sleep on this one. Make you rush now. Go visit our website on oneexpert.ng. No forget to use the promo code BETNG and you go get 200% bonus on your first deposit. One expert, bet wey dey for everybody.
Stanbic IBTC gang. Okay, happen to life gang. Set I want your pension of Lagos. You know me, who gang? You are moving to the switch gang. It can be with the switch gang. Right now you are moving to the switch gang. This gang is the switch gang. Switch now, make you check down. Your pension go show, make I no lie. Cause Stanbic IBTC if you want try. Transfer with the shot, so no door. How you go come know if you no try? No confirm account with the no sign. Pension manager we go show you die. Set I want gang. Retire well gang. Pension secure gang. Just switch gang. Set I want Stanbic IBTC gang. Transfer window gang. Happen to life gang. One pension manager gang. Join the switch gang today.
Stanbic IBTC Pension Managers, a member of Standard Bank Group.
Make your life better with BBC News Pidgin. To get better for this world, you suppose know wetin dey. Make better tori ginger you from your domot to the whole world. Because when you see every for the world, anything dey possible. Make your life better. Search for BBC News Pidgin.
In accordance with the Nigeria Communications Commission, NCC's mandate to link every phone number to the user's national identification number, NIN, 9Mobile as your network of choice is making the exercise nice and easy. Simply dial *996#, verify and link your NIN. Better still, you can visit www.9mobile.com.ng/NIN to do the same. Remember, a stitching time saves all the 9Mobile benefits you've always enjoyed, so hurry now.
107.3 Darling FM. The People's Radio.
So, all right, we have some.
Okay, yes, on our Facebook live streaming. Jerome Nwachuku says, rural women in my village got 9,000 each rather than 10,000 they were promised, though. Not all villages in Abombi say were inclusive, and those that received the bedridden ones were not captured. And is it 9,000 or 10,000? That's the question.
I wish he told us why 9,000.
He's just saying that's what they say. Rural women in my village got 9,000 each rather than 10,000. So at the end, he's even asking whether it's 9,000 per person or 10,000.
Okay, so it's 10,000.
Okay.
The backlog that wasn't paid is 10,000.
10,000.
Now, if we normally tell them when we give them the money, we tell them to count the money right there. So that if it's not complete, then we make a note of it not being complete.
Mm-hmm.
But if you step away, you're telling us 9,000. How do we know it was really 9,000? But it is 10,000. So if 1,000 naira is missing, somebody pulled out 1,000 naira.
So which of the exercises 20,000? Because when we started, we were talking about 20,000 naira conditional cash transfer, and now we're hearing 10,000.
Yes, there was a backlog from last year.
Okay.
That is the 10,000 that they're paying now. It's 20,000, but there was a backlog.
Okay.
So the backlog was 10,000. It's just 10,000. That's the backlog, but it's 20,000.
Okay. So after payment of the backlog, then
it's 20,000.
20,000 commences.
All right. This is from Chidin Kwapara. He said sometimes we tend to believe that there are he says sometimes we tend to believe there are no extremely poor people in Owerri municipality. There are a host of such persons in my village. Umoima says these facilities that are supposed to access this facility. How can they be reached?
Well, Owerri Municipal is on the list for enumeration.
Okay.
Owerri North, Oria Urata, that's Owerri North.
Owerri North.
Owerri Urban, which is Owerri, GRA, Ikenibu 1, Ikenibu 2, New Owerri, Owerri West, Avu, Iwete, Nekede, Omogoma, Emabiam, Okolochi.
So when you say enumeration, means they've not started receiving.
No, let me explain. It means the 18,238 I told you about earlier.
Yeah.
We're capturing them.
Okay.
Take a picture of you. Excuse me. Take a picture of your
So sorry about that.
Your alternate person, and you're put into the system. The next payment you're going to be paid. So we're doing that for this 18,238 people, and we're trying to be as fast as we can so that the next payment these people are included.
Is the information out there? Are people aware, or your team is?
The information is out there.
Okay.
It may not be as loud as it should, but it's out there.
All right, can you just quickly react to this one? Mr. Chris Eze says, I'm not a supporter of this money sharing. It's better you employ these people into various government ministries and agencies instead of giving them money every month, and after a period of time the money will stop coming and they will go back to square one. That's on one hand. Then Jerome Nwachuku says the people were given in his village were given 10,000 and they were asked to submit.
Where's his village?
That was the first that's Abombi say. And he now said the people were asked to submit 1,000 for contribution, which only them knows why. Please clear me on this. Then Uzodima Yuste says, good morning guys and your guest. None of the women in my community got a kobo. My community is Umu Garago Eyogugu Abombi say.
Is he referring to the? He said his women. Is he referring to the?
Unless
rural cash transfer for women.
Probably because he's emphatic on women here.
Okay, so if he's referring to that, like I said earlier, we are still going to have another part of that. We didn't finish last year. They're still coming back, and it can be every rural woman, but all the local governments will be captured. So if he wasn't, then most likely women in his area will receive their funds. There was another question.
Yeah, this one said that Jerome is saying that the first person that sent in the message is saying that the women or the recipients were given 10,000, but that the team will ask them for 1,000 back, which he said he doesn't know what that is.
Our team was asking for 1,000.
Yeah, according to him.
Okay, so I would take that up. I've never seen such. I've been there on ground, but this is very serious, and I would take that up because they're not supposed to do that.
Okay,
they could lose their jobs. So I will take that up. We'll talk after the program.
Okay.
All right. About that.
So let's have your final statement. We have a minute left for maybe a word, whatever we may have missed, or any information you want to share. A concluding statement as we.
Yeah. Even without being on this program, there are a lot of people who say sharing money is not really the solution. Aren't there better ways to curb poverty? If you look at it, even in the Western world, they do share money. They may not share the money as in give you the money, but they have a card system where they give money to poor people. So it does happen. It's not new in the world. We just started. Maybe we should look for a better way of doing it instead of just sharing the money physically. People see us carrying money. But it helps. We have to. And like I said, I've been there. I'm so touched, and I'm happy that this is what I do every day. I see people smile, even though the money is small. And I want people to understand that we're trying our possible best to do something for our people. It's something. We should look at it from a positive angle instead of a negative angle. And it's not like we're not considering their suggestions. We're thinking about them. We're processing them. We're thinking of how the ways we can make this program work better. But also they should look at it from the positive side.
All right.
Thank you very much. Honorable Princess Christina Ude is the Special Advisor to Imo State Governor on Sustainable Development Goals and Humanitarian Services. We appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Stay tuned to 107.3 Darling FM. I am Paul the Magician.
And I'm Zandas Okeke Otiwa.
Good morning.